So, the 47th President of the United States, Donald Trump, has been coming towards a lot of people with a chainsaw. His new president is really being felt on all corners of the earth. And do not take that literally. The earth is not flat. And I didn't even know he knew that South Africa even existed until
Mr. President, so on Truth Social, you said that you were going to cut aid from South Africa. Will you plan to cut aid across other African nations, and why South Africa?
No, it's only South Africa. Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
so people are just kind of wondering, like this hot check, for example, like what the hell is he even talking about? Can we really say the Afrikaners are being oppressed and their land is being stolen from them? What land is he even talking about?
A 2017 government report found 72% of private farmland is white-owned, a legacy of apartheid policies. While the expropriation bill is part of the government's broader land reform strategy, it does not override constitutional protections for property rights. Even AfriForum CEO Kelly Creel, whose organization has expressed concern about the law, has acknowledged that there have been no large-scale land confiscations by the government. Ultimately, misinformation has fueled the frenzy around this law, but the facts tell a different story.
In fact, the universally acclaimed greatest leader of all time who could do no wrong, Nelson Mandela, who virtually achieved saint status in his life, there was still that one criticism that haunted him all his life, that when he got into power, he didn't compensate the black natives well on the land that was stolen to them. It is this frustration that laid the foundation of such revolutionary parties like Pan-Africanist parties like the EFF.
He believes it's theft. Just taking land from someone is theft. No more, no less. So he believes you can't, no matter how bad the injustices were in the past, you can't fix it by grabbing.
And that is madness. How does taking my car, which you stole from you, become a theft? You steal my car, I come and take it. I find it, I take it.
Whoa, he really sounds like Eric Killmonger in that museum scene in Black Panther, doesn't he? South Africa is a country that has a complex and often painful history shaped by factors like colonialism, apartheid, and ongoing struggles of equality and justice. Without a deeper understanding of this history and the ongoing challenges facing the country, it's difficult to make informed decisions or offer constructive solutions to the problems facing South Africa, especially if you're a billionaire outsider was raised in a silver spoon. So Ramaphosa felt like Trump was that ungrateful girlfriend on Valentine's who was like, you got me this Mercedes for Valentine's, but I really would have preferred a red one. I haven't heard Ramaphosa make that exact statement, but I can imagine how he might feel frustrated with Trump's response to Africa's land expropriation policy. Because the whites are already being compensated enough. It's like when you give someone a nice gift, but they are more focused on what they didn't get than on what you actually gave them. In this case, South Africa is trying to address the historical injustices and promote equality, but Trump seems more concerned with his own agenda and political calculations.
This issue that Donald Trump fears so much, we offer this question of the land. I don't know what Donald Trump has to do with South African land because he's never been here. And he must keep his America. We will keep our South Africa.
This statement sounds very, very familiar. Almost like someone I used to know said something like this.
So, Blair, keep your England and let me keep my Zimbabwe.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the speech.
South Africa is our land. South Africa belongs to all the people who live here in South Africa. It does not belong to Donald Trump. He can keep his America. And Ene is even worse. He's even worse. When I meet him, I will tell him. I'll say, you, Donald Trump, you are even worse because your forebears came to America. They found the indigenous Americans. They wiped them out. They killed nearly all of them. Rine, we are living as a nation, and black and white, we are going to find solutions for our land question. So Donald Trump must leave us alone.
So Trump, it's not like he ever listens anyway, right? He still sends asylums to South Africa to save the damsel in distress that is the white Afrikaner.
But what if Cinderella doesn't want to be saved?
I don't know what will happen. I ain't no fortune teller, but it would make for one awkward moment, more awkward than realizing that you have been catfished.
We have to state categorically, we don't want to move elsewhere. We are not going to ask our children now to move to another country. The fact is, our ancestors worked hard to make sure that we as a people are formed down the southern tip of Africa. We're not going to disrespect that. We also have the interests of future generations in mind. We also have to make sure that our culture is transferred to future generations. And that cannot be done abroad. We see our future in Africa. Our people in Afrikaans, the Afrikaner folk, became a people here on the southern tip of Africa. We did not develop elsewhere. We are not Europeans. We are indigenous to this people and to this country, and we are going nowhere.
Boom! Right from the horse's mouth, mine. They ain't going nowhere like Jennifer Hudson in Dreamgirls. The Afrikaners don't care about the American dream, it seems. In a weird way, I feel very proud and actually kind of shedding a tear. You know, it's so ironic when you hear white people speak about the importance of African land ancestors and culture like this, with so much pride, respect, and honor and conviction. And yet, Native Africans ourselves, when we go abroad to the West only for 2 minutes, they be like,
I don't understand. I don't know if I can still remember to speak Zulu. It's so hard, you know? Oh, go. You're so out and backwards. Why don't you speak English, man?
But here we listen the Afrikaners express the pride and respect they have of living on African lands. It's so ironic, bro.
We often explore the historical apartheid complexities on this channel with our doodoo summaries. You can totally check it out. We even have an African language debate special we once did that explores the deeper issues. Some issues we touched on today in this episode. So if you'd love to get schooled more on that, please check it out. So, as always, thanks for watching MeMsie Africa. Till next time.